there was this whole DNA guy, which was so interesting, but also so probably like damning, I guess.
There's very few times that your DNA determines outcome, but there's positive. Let me give you a positive.
Okay. Yes.
So I had Allison Brager on the podcast. Okay. She's a neuroscientist. She's active duty. And she did a study on sleep and rangers. Mm-hmm. And all of the rangers had this SNP that allowed, it's like Jocko. Jocko, he's great. 4 hours of sleep, no problem. Mm-hmm. These guys all had some kind of genetic mutation that allowed them to perform and not need sleep.
Jeez.
DNA, great.
Yeah.
But if the person's lazy, well, that's not going to, whatever. But right. Then, there's there's so many different genes. Are there certain genes that when it is in your DNA and it is expressed early on will be your outcome? Yes. These are typically severe diseases that individuals do not survive from.
Yeah.
That is not the majority.
That's not the majority, right? Because I think sometimes these predispositions could put you down a track of almost fearful of something that might not necessarily come to fruition because you were told this. I know there's probably a term for this. What is it? Mito something.
Hypochondria?
That's
no,
it.
I'm just kidding.
When you're afraid of the potential sickness that you might have.
I mean, it's common.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that.
Well, it's common in our culture because we don't talk about death. Yeah. And we don't talk about
wow, that's so good.
The inevitable aspects of life and death.
Yeah.
It's very foreign to us.
Yeah.
And it's something that we're afraid of. And it's something that we don't embrace. And I learned this unwittingly. So when I did my fellowship, it was very difficult for me. I did a geriatric fellowship.
Oh, wow.
In order for me to do additional training in nutrition, I had to work as a geriatrician. So I did this at WashU.
Yeah.
In St. Louis.
Yeah.
And that's right. And I did a combined fellowship so I could do nutritional science research. And I would see 30 dying patients a day. And I had never been faced with day after day people at the end of their life. And it was just so foreign, and it makes mortality and the fragility of life so in your face that I honestly took years to recover from. And the only way that I recovered from it was actually, I don't even know if I'm still recovered, but speaking to, do you know Elena Brower? You kind of know everybody.
I don't think I do.
She is now a monk. She's a
wow.
Zen Buddhist monk.
Wow.
But she was originally a very famous yoga teacher.
Okay.
She's actually coming on the podcast at some point.
Sweet.
She'll be at the event.
Sweet.
And she is doing work in hospice and helping people die well. I mean, that is intense.
Real thing. Yeah, it's a needed thing.
That's so intense. And I guess we started off talking about DNA your destiny, and how far removed we are from it. And I think, and I don't know, but in order to become really good at life, you have to face immortality.
You have to. Well, let me ask
you mortality. Not immortality. You have to face mortality.
Yeah, mortality. Right, right. Yeah. I guess
immortality. I was reading
We're all immortality.
Yeah,
well,
I was reading about Hercules last night, so.
Let me ask you this. So the people, you're spending time with people near death. What do you see in the difference of those who are ready to go and who embrace it with a joy? Because it's probably like so. I
saw that one time.
Really? Just wow.
And she was ready. She's like,
wow.
I have lived a really good life. I'm really concerned for the suffering of my husband and family, but it's time for me.
Oh.
Only one.
Was there any
out of hundreds?
Would they talk about faith, spirituality? Was there a tie-in with some of those people at that point?
I mean, but there was only one.
But just one.
There was only one.
Wow. That probably need to make it more societal norm of.
It's hard. It's hard. Everyone turned off the podcast by now. They're like, this is depressing.
Like, I'm not
Sorry,
gonna
guys.
die. I'm a biohacker. I ain't dying. I'm living till
But part
forever.
of biohacking is this, we're not facing our own fragility.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think part of the biohacking and the search for, living forever is just in absence of the acceptance of what life is and
Yes.
death? I totally think
Because
it is.
it's so hard,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to accept
Yeah.
that you will lose everything that you love.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it wild to think too that 100 years from now, probably almost everybody that is able to say a word will be dead?
Yeah.
Crazy.
But the good news is we're all in it together.
And we're all in it together. Yeah. It's
I
not
mean,
like, yeah, you're right.
that's
Yeah.
the one thing that I take solace in is that we all
Yeah.
are having the same experience
Yeah.
differently,
Differently.
but
Right.
yes.
Yeah. And how, yeah, that's a good point.